9, 8.
You're watching Experience Comic Culture and Sales. Streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
2, 1.
Hello, everyone. So this show originally was supposed to happen, but we're doing it from the store phone now. So I apologize for the angle. You're currently sitting on top of a bucket. Give me just one second. So if you guys didn't already see, we're doing a DC Vertigo show today, which means that everything that has been put up on the board for me is all DC Vertigo stuff. So let's just get into it. Starting with Heartland 9. I'm trying to see what number this is. Heartland for 1997. I'm not seeing a number on it, but we're asking $4 for this tonight. Moving in to Dix number 2, again by Garth Ennis for $3. It's very good condition. The lighting in here does not do it justice. The spine has a little bit of damage, but I mean, it's an older book. Next up, we have a run of 1 through 4. It looks signed, and or just scribbled on. I can't tell which. Signed. It's signed by Garth Ennis. It looks like. Unknown Soldier, 1 through 4 for $20. Number 1. Number 2. If the books want to stop sticking together. 3. And there's number 4 for you. Now let me put them back in the right order. They're all sticking together. Looks like 1 and 2 are signed, not certificate, but signed. Next up is going to be a run of 1 through 4 of Bloody Mary. We got it all worked out somehow. For some reason, Facebook is still pulled up on the computer, but it shouldn't be. Okay, so we have this run of 1 through 4 of Bloody Mary for $10. So yeah, the last one's 20. Number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. That's for $10, y'all. Sorry, the chat on the phone completely covers the screen, so I'm working with what I got. Okay, next up we have another run of Bloody Mary, specifically Bloody Mary Lady Liberty, 1 through 4 for $10. So number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Again, that's for $10. Next up, we have Pride and Joy, number 1 through 3 for $8. There's, I believe, number 1, and then number 2, 3 on the back. It is missing number 4 of this lot. Ooh, next up is a bunch of, it looks like Sandman. It's a bunch of really pretty Sandman. I don't know how to sample this. First one is going to be the first appearance of Lucifer for $50. Fun story that I found out, that apparently the Lucifer show is very, 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 very loosely based on the Sandman comics. Found that out last summer, and it blew my mind. When I say loosely, I mean loosely. Next up, we have Sandman. The first one was Sandman number 4. Sandman number 5 for $20. The first something Pumpkinhead. This guy. think it's Men Pumpkinhead, something of that nature. Mer Pumpkinhead. That would be fitting for the Sandman universe. Next up is going to be Sandman number 6 for 25. Trying to make it that you don't just see the reflection. Next up is going to be number 7 for 18. Trying to get the glare out of the way, but it's kind of hard. Next up is going to be Sandman, Sound of Her Wings, number 8. It says on the top, first appearance of death. I forgot that was a character in this. For 30. It's a Sin on Me. I still haven't read Sandman. It's a lot of books. It's a lot. It's pretty dense, and there's a bunch of spin-offs. I just haven't had a chance. I want to, but I haven't. Next up is going to be Sandman number 9 for 25. The first full Nadia. Assume Nadia. Really good conditions. These are really good condition books. I'm being fully honest with y'all. Next up is going to be Sandman number 11. The first Fiddler's Green. This for y'all. Trying to get the glare out of the way. I'm so sorry, guys. Okay. Sandman number 12 for 16. The lighting in here does not do these covers justice. They're honestly in really good condition. Next up is going to be Sandman number 13. The first appearance of Lady Joshua. Okay, next is going to be the Sandman number 14 for 20. Sorry, the reflection that you see is actually the phone itself, so I can't do much about that. I apologize. I realized that just now. Next up is going to be the Sandman number 15 for 14. Okay. Then lastly for that pile is going to be Sandman number 16 for 8. Ooh. Next up, but with the same vibe, we have 2 runs in this stack. Give me just one sec. So we have a run of 1 through 3 of Death, the Time of Your Life for 10. So the full series for 10. Can't really go wrong with that. I'm not used to it being mirrored. I'm so sorry. So this is number 1. Really good condition. Spine's in really good condition. Next up is number 2. Showing y'all what the covers look like. And lastly, number 3. Okay. And the next run behind it, it's going to be Death, the Highest Cost of Living, 1 through 3. It's number 1. Number 2 for 8. Oh, actually no, because these are runs. Never mind. Number 2. It's fine. I'm running on caffeine and vibes. And then lastly is going to be number 3. Okay. Next up we have a big old stack of Constantine Hellblazer. It is a run of 60 through 83 for 50. It's a big old stack. So if you guys want me to, Caffeine and vibes, always. It's just the constant vibe. It's the Space Cadets vibe. You're running on caffeine, vibes, and just pure energy. But if you guys do want me to show you a specific cover, if you guys are interested in this run, absolutely, just put it in the comments. It's easier for the smaller runs, but I will be going through that whole stack for the rest of this show if I do that. Next up is going to be another John Constantine run of Hailblazer for 20. These are 2 runs in here. Hold on. Give me a sec. Okay. There's just a single John Constantine in that pile that is not part of this run. Sorry. So then we have John Constantine, number 129 through 133 as a $20 run tonight. There's 129, 130, 31, 32, and 33. And then the singular random John Constantine. So number 48 for $10. Next up, we have more John Constantine, of course. We have John Constantine, Hailblazer, number 1 special for $4. John Constantine, number 129 for $6. Then John Constantine, Hailblazer for 130 for $5. So if you guys just want the singles, we got them. Okay. So then I have 2 runs of this guy. That second stack that I just pulled down is the second run. Sorry. Okay. Cool. So this first one is going to be Goddess 1 through 8 for 15. So the complete series for 15. Okay. Next up is going to be Vertigo Jam, number 1 for $4. Just give you guys a close up. It's really pretty, but with the phone being directly in there, it reflects the white on it. Okay. Next up is going to be the Trench Coat Brigade. Trench Coat Brigade. Cannot pronounce that word to save my life. Number 1 through 4. Perfect. Thank you. Let's all just thank JD real quick, the savior of the night. Everybody in the audience, just thank him, because dream right here. Fantastic producer. 10 out of 10. Would not ask for anybody better. Oh, turn my camera off. Sorry, I was trying to open the chat. Cool. And we have number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. Okay. Okay, I'll start off with this small stack, and then I'll get to the one that I just pulled down from behind it. Next up, we have a run of Saint of Killers, number 1 through 4, for $10. Number 1, number 2, three, and 4. And that next book that was in that pile that I just pulled up, it is a number 1 of Saints of Killers for $10 with not certified, but I do trust it. Signature of Garth Ennis and someone else. that? Steve Pugh. I butchered that last name. But it is signed. You can't really see it well on the camera. But it's got both the signatures. Again, not certified. And then what's next is a bunch of Preacher. If you guys want Preacher, there's a bunch coming up. This stack and these two stacks, that is just Preacher. It's just Preacher. It's a big old fat stack of just Preacher. Oh my gosh. So this first one is going to be Preacher number 1 for 60. It's going to sit it on the chair, but that's not safe. Next up is something. It's Preacher related. It doesn't feel nor look like an ashcan. I don't exactly know what it is. Next up is Preacher number 2 for 30. He's on a run. This is not a run. So next up is going to be Preacher number 4 for, I'm going to assume at the cover price is 15. Yeah. Next up is going to be Absolute Vertigo, the first appearance of Preacher, for 20. Another run of Saint of Killers. Oh my gosh. Cool. Another run of it. You guys, if you guys want to see the covers, you already saw them. I'm gonna set that right there. Okay. Next up is gonna be Preacher number 19 for $3. Okay. Next up is gonna be Preacher number 20 for $3. Okay. Next is gonna be Preacher number 27 for, again, $3. So again, like, most of this stack is going to be $3 to $5. So if you guys just need things to fill in your Preacher collection, this is it. Okay. Next up is going to be Preacher number 28 for $3. A sudden jump to Preacher number 43 for also $3. Huh. It's a weird looking cover. As somebody who knows nothing about Preacher but only knows their pops, Preacher's a strange story, and that's coming a lot for me, especially when I read. But it's a great storyline. I've heard great things about Preacher. Next up is going to be, we have 2 copies of this, by the way, both for $5. We have 2 copies of the Preacher special, the story of You Know Who by number 1. And then we have another one for $5. So we have the pops of him here at the shop. And now I have a surface level understanding of what Preacher is, like, generally. Mostly because the show came on around the time that I had stopped watching Walking Dead. And so my dad had looked into it. It wasn't his jam, so we never watched it. But I've heard fantastic things, and the only reason why I know what that character's name is purely because of the pop that we have. That was long-winded. That was a very roundabout way of saying I know because we have the pop. But the pop is the whole reason why I actually wanted to start it. Next up, we have another twofer. The rest of these are going to be twofers, just a heads up. So somebody else wants it. Well, we have another one. Next up is the Preacher special, The Good Old Boys, number 1 for $5. And the rest of the stack is going to be $5, just to letting you know. Okay. Next up is going to be next Preacher special, Tall in the Saddle for $5. We do have, again, 2 of those. Next up is Preacher Special, One Man's War, number 1 for $5. And then lastly in this pile, because those next 2 piles are huge Preacher piles. Preacher Cassidy, Blood and Whiskey for $5. And we have 2 of those. Unfortunately, I cannot say that on this platform. Because, Twitch and YouTube don't like it. It's fine.
What would Miss Jen say to that? Do you think was Miss Jen? She does heck blazer. Would maybe bottom face? Do you think?
Probably, yeah. I think so. either a bottom face or the derogatory butt head or butt face, that kind of thing. Don't know. That is a fantastic question. If she's still in chat, she may answer. But that is a very much a question that I never would have thought of in depth. Wow, this is a really thick stack. I was slapping myself in the face with a shelf. So this is a big old. These next 2 stacks are all the same run, so I am not going to show all the covers because then we'll be here all night. Hello, everyone, to the show that wasn't supposed to happen. So we have 2 huge stacks, and mind you, these runs it's going to be $225 altogether. It is 6 through 66 of Preacher, and the sticky note on it is an indicator for me. When I say big old stacks, I'm talking like dense. These are dense runs. All for $225, and it's 6 through 66. We get a bunch of people asking for Preacher, fairly frequently. 666. What? The one day that I don't wear my Bath Meow shirt, it's fine. Okay. Whoa, this is a thick boy stack too. So we have a gigantic stack of, I'm assuming, books of magic. Just books of magic? Yeah. Books of magic 1 through 13, and then 21 through 75. When I tell you this stack, this stack is huge. It's dense. It's a couple inches dense. And then, okay, that makes sense. But it's 60. And then we have another half of this stack. This is the second half. And these big boy runs are, if I show you all the covers, we're going to be here all night, and I don't want us to drag through like that. Okay, next up we have 2 copies of, I'm going to boldly assume this is pronounced because of it being Vertigo, Damn Vampire. It's probably pronounced Dom, but I don't know. Damn Vampire, Stillborn, or Darn, but that's what,
I believe that's Dampier, which is like what technically Blade would be, a day vampire.
That makes sense. My brain kept forcing in the VAM in the beginning, or the VAMP. That makes more sense. That makes so much more sense. Thank you. Well, we have 2 copies of that tonight. There's something about older Vertigo that just blows my mind because of the way that they do some of their titles. Because sometimes they're ineligible or illegible. Illegible? That's the word. If you guys are not aware. JD is. But if you guys are not aware, I was unfortunately displaced from my home the last couple of weeks. We're safe now. We're in a good place. But my brain is still going back into the process of learning how English works. I've been doing nothing but logistics behind the scenes, so my brain's kind of fried. So I apologize. But next up, we got some good books. And we got some more in the box too. Starting off with this stack, we have a run of 1 through 3 of Books of Fairy for $10. 1, 2, and 3. And that's not it. That's not the only Books of Fairy we have. We have a run of 1 through 4. Let me split this run real quick. I'm trying to figure out where to set stuff. That's on the box now. So we have number 1 of Molly's Story. Thanks, I appreciate it. Funny enough, so I have a fun story about my hair actually. So initially, it was all red. All of it, like it was this red. It was all red. I dyed it the day before that we had an evac. Unfortunately, I have been just rinsing the color out of my hair because I have nowhere else to re-dye my hair. But thank you, I appreciate it. Actually, I had just gotten a cut that Wednesday. So I'm living, I'm vibing. But next up we have again Books of Fairy, Molly's Story, number 1. This whole run is $10. Number 2. Number 3. And number 4. Okay. It's so weird. So our internet's down. That's the whole reason why I'm doing this from the phone. But the Facebook is still live and it's still running, but we don't have internet, so it's very strange. Unless the internet just came back up. I don't know which. Next up, we have a run. We have many runs. Next run is the Book of Fairies, Aberrons. I haven't talked fantasy in a very long time. Aberon's Tale, number 1 through 3. Number 1. Number 2. And number 3. And then the last stack that we have in this, before I get into the good stuff in here, is going to be The Names of Magic 1 through 3. These are cool covers. For $8. It's going to be $8 for that. Here's number 1. Number 2. And number 3. Ooh. No. The first half of this stack is upside down. Give me a sec. Okay, cool. Well, coming down from the board is going to be Heartlands from 1997. Doesn't have a number on it, but Heartland. Aldi brand Harry Potter. You're not wrong. I'm trying to think. I feel like Spiderwick Chronicles is a knockoff brand. This is my hot take. And I love both these series that I'm about to comment on. I believe that Spiderwick Chronicles is a diet brand of series of unfortunate events. That's my hot take. I love both series, mind you. I inhaled both book series. Grew up as a bookworm. That didn't change. But That's my hot take. The hottest of takes. Book coming down is Heartland, 1997 for $4. Next to come down is going to be Dix, number 2, for $3 from Caliber. I'm assuming before they were Vertigo. I feel like Vertigo went through like 6 different publishing names and then settled on not Vertigo, or settled on Vertigo at some point. DC has a very muddy history for me. That history tends to stop at about 83. Around the time of Vertigo coming into existence, unfortunately. Coming down is Unknown Soldier, number 1 through 4 for $20. Okay. Next to come down is going to be a Bloody Mary, 1 through 4 for $10. This book's falling apart in my hands. It's fine. Yeah, let's do that. See you after the break.
Live from New York. What? Oh, sorry. Live from Cleveland? It's Friday night? It's Friday Night Live! With Nancy McCann. And Ricky. And sometimes Carlos. And featuring boxes and boxes of rare comics. Unique collectibles. Lots of smiles and conversations with new friends. Friday Night Live with Comics Unlimited. Friday night from 9 to 11 on The Experience.
According to a statistic that I just made up, people spend 4 hours a day changing the television channel. People who watch The Experience don't do that. Save yourself a ton of time by tuning into The Experience and enjoying our new original programming 7 days a week. And then tell your friends. Think about the money they could save on batteries in the remote alone just by tuning into The Experience. Find out more by scanning the QR code below.
And we're back. Gonna be honest, that ad just before we cut back to the title screen gave me a good chuckle. I was just quietly chuckling to myself while reading it. But anyways, back to creating the board. Next to come down is going to be Bloody Mary, Lady Liberty, 1 through 4 for $10. Okay, next to come down is going to be Pride and Joy, number 1 through run of number 1 through 3. Wow, my brain just shut off for a second. For $8. You know when your brain just short circuits and you just completely forget whatever words were about to actually come out of your mouth? Well, I love it. And no, I don't. That's a lie. Yeah.
I was going to say something, but I forgot.
Exactly. You got this. I can't tell if this is a bit.
No, that was a joke.
That was a bit. Okay. I think that's one of those things that, like, ever since I got back to work, because I've been back at work officially. You guys just, there's been all kinds of talk about it on the Facebook page. But if you guys didn't know, I have only been back at work for about 2 weeks, and my brain is still going back into the cycle of what is speaking and what about comic words. Yeah, it's rough. I feel like I have the lag of like just after a Twitch ad, but the ad is still lagging after being finished and then going back into the stream. Yeah, I use Twitch outside of work. I like Twitch. Coming down is a massive pile of Sandman. It's not a run. It's just a massive pile of random Sandman. Okay, coming down off the board, it's going to be 2 separate runs. One is going to be a 1 through 3 of Death something something. The High Cost of Living. Well, I feel that for $10. I feel like some of these Seaman titles were before their time. Like Death, The Time of Your Life. For $10. That's a 1 through 3. Nihilism coming in hard tonight. It's fine. Next to come down is going to be John Constantine in honor of Jen. Heck Blazer. Are you talking about the cat one? Or are we talking which one? Which poster? There's a couple of posters behind me. That cat poster freaks me out from Animal Pounds. Unless you're talking about this dude from Duke. The cat eyes? I know, every single time that we do a show in here specifically, every single time, because essentially the way that the studio is, it's a very small confined room. So whenever we're doing shows in here and I'm helping, I'm sitting in our doorway, but the problem is that the way that it looks from the doorway, it looks like it's staring directly at me, and it is horrifying. There are not any trades, but it's a ton of Vertigo. I don't know if there's any Vertigo trades in this box. You can claim comics anywhere, on any platform. Just make sure you fill out there's a scroll on the bottom telling you how to fill out the form. And you can get all set up from that way. I'm used to doing the Facebook shows. So, but yeah, follow the prompts on the bottom of the screen and it'll get you all set up to get any of the books that you enjoy tonight, you see tonight, anything like that. So yeah, I'm just pretending to be Jen tonight. Next to come down is going to be John Constantine in honor of Jen. Heck Blazer. 60 through 83 for 50. Ooh, these are a lot of books. Yeah, but you can see all the comments. There are no, from what I'm generally aware of, there's no trades. It's just a bunch of runs. So if you want to get a bunch of runs and just get them put into a spine. I don't know if we even have the high cost of living on our sales floor. I don't think. I haven't seen it, at least. We don't get a whole lot of Vertigo trades, secondhand or otherwise. Next to come down is going to be a pile of books of John Constantine, Hellblazer. We have a single coming down that's number 48 for $10. And then what's behind that is just a 1 through 29, 1 through 29, 129 through 133 run for $20. Words are hard, numbers are hard, life is just hard. Wow, I just preached to an entire choir. Next to come down is going to be John Constantine, Hellblazer, special number 1 for $4. $4. Next to come down is going to be John Constantine, Hellblazer, number 129 for $6 if you just want the single on that one. Jen prepped this board for me, so I have no idea what's in the box. It looks like it's mostly Preacher in here, though. So right now, I'll boldly say no Fables in this box. We do have Fables trades, though. That's as much as I can tell you. We just don't have Fables trades in here. They're just on the sales floor. Yeah, sorry about that. But next to come down is going to be John Constantine Hellblazer number 130 for $5. Okay. And I'm not going to show you this entire stack because they're the exact same thing. They're both 1 through 8 runs of Goddess for 15. Okay, yeah. They're both the same runs, literally the exact same runs. Hello, people. Okay. Next to come down is going to be Vertigo Jam, number 1 for $4. Okay. Next to come down is going to be Trenchcoat Brigade. I had an issue pronouncing that earlier. Trenchcoat Brigade, 1 through 4 for $20. Everybody's so chatty tonight. There we go. That too. What JD said in the chat. Did you use the high cost of living? It is a run. It is a run of high cost of living. Let me find it again. So much John Constantine. Cool. It is a run of 1 through 3. Sorry, I had to find it. It is. You're right. It is Death 1 through 3. It is $10. Hold 10 smackaroos. Bring it back smackaroos. Yeah, of course. So if you guys want to rewind these, I believe at the beginning of the show, I showed all the covers. So if you guys want to go back and go check it out, perfect. Sweet. The boards are missing, so I'm just gonna set it on top of your stick from the other day. Okay. But if you guys want to go check it out, or go check out the covers, I did show them individually when I was putting them back on the board. They're all now buried into this box. So if you guys want to go check it out and tell you all the prices, show you all the covers, that's the beginning of the show, probably about 15 minutes in. Next to come down is going to be this whole pile of two of these are the exact same runs of Saint of Killers, number 1 through 4, for $10. They're $10 each, I believe. On the money, $10 each. Both the runs are $10, and they're the exact same run, both 1 through 4s. I don't think. Yeah, that's an entire series. That's this entire arc. It's Saints of Killers. This next one is. I'm just having a grand old time. And then this next one is going to be Saints of Killer number 1. Signed, not certified, but signed by Garth Ennis and Steve. Yeah, I'm gonna butcher that last name. It is signed, not certified. Just letting you know. Hi, Russell G. Haven't seen you in a minute. Next up is this humongous pile of Preacher. For multiple different prices, but this huge stack of Preacher. It's not all the same, by the way. But humongous stack of Preacher. I'm having a swell time with this box. It's like one of those, like, the long boxes, the drawer styles that come with the, like, cardboard in the middle, and then you put them up on the sides to give them more structural integrity. Don't like them. They get stuck in everything. Okay, and then these next two piles that I'm pulling down off the board, you can't really see the other stack. These two stacks, these guys right here, these bad boys, they're all the same run. So I'm going to just pull down the stacks individually. But it is 6 through 66 for $225, which is a steal if you ask me. Sorry, I'm trying to pull down all the books along with it. So the whole reason I'm actually here right now, and JD already put it in chat, our lovely producer, Jen is currently out of town, so I'm filling in for her for just today and on our other network on Saturday. So I'm not normally here for what's in the box, so I'm not usually used to the procedures there. So let me just put this in the box first. This is a run of 6 through 66. But let me get my spiel real quick. So we are a Wednesday to Wednesday shopping week. So that means that invoices go out. I mean, you're not wrong in that. No one knew gaming. But we are a Wednesday to Wednesday shopping week. So yeah, these fun things other than 100% going to be reversed because I'm on a front-facing camera right now. But we are a Wednesday to Wednesday week. So what does that mean? That means that we send out invoices on Wednesday. You have 24 hours to pay that invoice. Or else there'll be consequences. I don't think there's any Tim Hunter in here. But like I said, I haven't seen the rest of this box, so I have no idea. But we send all of our stuff in Gemini mailers. 10 for 6, and then 20 for 8. No, for 8, not 18. That'd be insane. And they're all going to be sent out insured, either priority or just plain old UPS. Because we're sending them at media rate, make sure to check with your local post office if they do take media, and then hit us up with some of that information. Some post offices just do not like media rate and just don't like just media packages for whatever reason. So just make sure that they do take them. I feel like I just missed an entire reference because of how little I know Vertigo. It's weird. There's a piece of board right here and I just slammed my head against it. It's fine. I'm fine. Pull out some more books on me. Oh. Wow, pull that more. We got like 10 minutes. Okay. Okay, cool. Then I will just finish clearing the board and we'll just be chatty. Thank you. It was actually made by an artist in Ohio. It's Chris something. I can't remember what his name is. It's like Delary or something. We follow him on Instagram. If you're following the Space Cadets page, make sure to follow him on TikTok. Can't remember what the name of it is to save my life. Oh. Okay, coming down is the next half of this gigantic stack. Right here, a preacher, still with that same run of 6 through 66. Whoa. So many books. He's such a little box. Ah! I slammed my head against the table again. When I tell you, I am the most accident-prone person on the face of the planet. My legs are just covered in bruises right now. It's so bad. Okay, next to come down. Cool. So then, next to come down is going to be this whole big old pile of Book of Magic. There's a bunch of different runs in here. Is there? No, I lied. I'm a liar. It's Book of Magic's 1 through 13 and then 21 through 75. That's what those two stacks down there were. So many books. Then other half of that run. Sorry for the weird noises. That's my stuff is happening. I don't know what to do. That's my panicking noise. Next to come down is going to be Dampire. I hope I got that right this time. Be so disappointed. How much are those books of magic? So there's a couple of different runs, but the 1 through 13, the 21 through 75, that's gonna be 60 today. I believe there's another set of runs in here. No, it's the Book of Fairy. That's what I was thinking of. With the Books of Magic, it is 60 for the 1 through 13, and the 21 through 75. Cool. The last thing to come down off this board tonight, it is 1 through 13 and 21 through 75. So I have a slight speech impediment, so I can't pronounce certain words. And I'm just going to leave that to the side, mostly because I don't have room in this box. But if you do want it, call it. Cool! But, give me a sec. I need to find sticky notes. Cool. Cool. That stuff is good. Sweet. Fantastic. And then make sure that if you are new, shoot Jen a message. It's just Jen King on Facebook. Rewind. So you can always rewind it or go back into the rewatch on YouTube. And you can always rewind it, go back and check. It's just what's in the box featuring me. But you can just go back on YouTube and rewind and go check it out that way. And you can just shoot us a message or send either the store page a message or something of that nature. And we can absolutely get you set up that way. But again, Wednesday, invoice week and all that jam. Jen will send you all that information when you send it to her. But otherwise, my producer mentioned to me here a few minutes ago that we are going into wrap. That too. Yeah. So, but my producer did let me know a few minutes ago that we are going in a wrap up. So I guess I'll just call it here. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for the chaos, and thank you enjoying the chaos, I should say. This has been an adventure. The store hasn't had internet all day, so thank you for joining me for the chaos. I appreciate it. So Jenna will be back next Thursday. She's just at a con right now. So yeah, thanks. Appreciate it, everybody.